Hey babes, welcome to a member selected video in which I talk about a book that I loved recently and make fan art for it. If you'd like to support my channel, consider becoming a channel member to get access to all of my book clubs. Check out the links below for more information. Your donation goes towards contributing to my mental health journey, supporting my cats, and getting more reviews like these. This is a review for Giovanni's Room by James Baldwin. This is a true tragedy. A tragedy that I haven't read a quality of in a very long time. This story made me hug my pillow and cry after I was done with it because I gave it 5 stars, and it is extremely sad. A story about queer men trying to exist in the 1970s in Paris. The main character's name is David. He is an American man dealing with projecting hypermasculinity because of trauma that he has with his daddy. He's gone to Paris and he has a woman that he loves who is currently on holidays, hopping around Spain, living her best life, who she thinks that she's going to come home to and potentially get married to David. But while she's gone, David is having a relationship with a barista named Giovanni. Giovanni is just trying to live his best life. And David is a liar and a user the entire time. Now, it's not that I particularly loved Giovanni, but it's that Giovanni was spitting. Giovanni was telling the truth that David really is only out for himself, and due to his selfishness, causes extreme tragedy for the people that are around him. And we see him literally use everybody. David is like the worst kind of person, in my opinion. Like, the kind of person that I'm like, why are you wasting my air? Stop wasting my air, because all you do is suck everything out from everyone around you, their finances, their stability. He's literally an emotional vampire. But after being brought into a gay bar by one of his friends who he's trying to mooch money off of, he meets Giovanni. Giovanni thinks that he's handsome. They're both white men. And so they get into this romantic fling. And even though David knows that his fiance is going to come back from holiday at any point, he keeps saying to Giovanni, "Don't worry, I will break things off with her when she comes back. Don't worry, it's me and you, babe. We're here to the end." Giovanni's room is literally his studio apartment. There is so much that happens in that space. And what's important is that in the 1970s, being queer was not safe. And so between the gay bar and Giovanni's room, there are very few places that these men can very safely and comfortably and openly express their relationship. David is a leech that just sucks all the joy out of these queer spaces. And on one hand, it's like he's not willing to come to terms with the fact that he himself is gay. But the way that he goes about handling it is where the issue comes in. I'm going to read you some quotes to kind of frame David's mindset, because he's such an unreliable narrator. "Somewhere at the very bottom of myself, I realized that I was doing something awful to her, and it became a matter of my honor not to let this fact become too obvious." So he's very aware of the horrible things that he's doing to the people around him, but he does not have the gall to actually do what is right, because that would mean admitting to himself and admitting to his father, who keeps writing to him saying, "Hey, are you finally going to get married?" that he's actually gay. Another line by another character that I want to quote is, "Think of the men who have kneeled before you while you thought of something else and pretended that nothing was happening down there, even in the dark between your legs." So I think it's important that even though he is expressing his queer identity in these openly safe spaces, that he is still using the queer community, because he is not being honest in the way that he is reciprocating feelings, communicating intent, that he is leading people on by saying, "Yeah, I'm open, everything's fine." Like, nope, because nobody in Paris really knows him. He's gone to Paris to essentially start a new life, but with no intention of doing so in a way that maintains any sense of integrity. I think it's worth noting that James Baldwin is a black man writing about this. There are a lot of nuances that he is privy to, and the way that he writes these white men is just impeccable because he sees things about them that are subtle that white men with privilege may not be able to see about themselves. This is a book that deserves to be read over and over again because I feel like every time I reread it, I'm probably going to notice something different. There's a lot of small moments of characters just glancing at each other, a wink, a smirk, a downcast gaze, and those things sometimes say more than the words that are leaving the characters' mouths. If you'd like to get a download of this drawing, that comes with being a Book Babe level member. I love this book, incredible, and I need to read everything that James Baldwin has ever written. I post videos whenever creativity strikes. Thanks for watching. Bye!